Hey everybody, welcome back to our neck of the woods. So as you can probably tell from the start of this video, it's springtime. Spring cleaning is in the air. We just got everything out from underneath of the RV finally, and it looks fantastic. We don't look like squatters anymore. Everything except for Salsa's house and our black discharge hose. And then we got to call out waste management and take care of all of that. But this video, we've got some miscellaneous stuff that we got to do. So hang tight, show you what we got going on, some electric and some air venting that we have to do. And then tonight, I'm taking Aaron out for a surprise. So we'll be back in a little bit and show you what we got going on. Any clue where we're going or why we took your car?
No.
You got one guess.
To a drive-in movie theater to see Top Gun.
Probably wouldn't be bad, but I don't think they have those downtown Columbus.
And I wouldn't approve of seeing it like that. It needs to be seen in a theater for sound.
Wait, you wouldn't approve the theater or you wouldn't approve the drive-in?
I wouldn't approve of the drive-in.
Oh, no. I mean, I doubt your car has the best speakers for it. If I told you it was America's favorite pastime.
Lucille!
Columbus Clippers.
Aaron does love a baseball game.
We don't watch it often, but I do like the atmosphere and going, and this is close. Cheap tickets right behind home plate. I just wanted some beer and some hot dogs, some real hot dogs for a change.
You don't like the organic hot dogs that I buy?
Well, I can't taste them anyway, but I don't know, where at that racetrack 2 weeks ago or whenever. Those nasty
boiled ass hot dogs.
Boiled so hot dogs. Just, I don't know. There's
track dogs.
Two fake pressed meats. I don't know how to explain it. It doesn't like fall apart. It just, I don't know.
Disgusting. It's
just
the only way to just explain it. Fake.
But I just wanted some beer and some hot dogs and to get out of the house. And like I said, cheap tickets for minor league versus major, and we don't have to go all the way up to Cleveland to see the Indians, so it is what it is. But I always enjoyed it.
The Guardians.
Whatever, they're the Indians.
We're not supposed to say Indians anymore.
They're the Cleveland Indians.
I know.
In fact, if you look at the mascot symbol now and turn it sideways, it's still Chief Wahoo logo. Take a look at it. We used to always go to the Akron Arrows as kids, several times a summer, it seemed like. I don't know if my mom or somebody got free tickets. We were always behind one of the dugouts, I believe home team dugout, but it is enjoyable. All right, we'll see you guys when we park and get in the stadium and find our seats. Oh, parking garage, I should have brought my car, but I do not want to have my car downtown here, crammed in everywhere. Oh, was that a Supra? Is that a Supra? It was a Supra.
Was it?
Yeah, new one. But you want to know the saddest thing about getting old? Anyone else help me out here. I'm almost 40 years old. I can't throw anymore. Like, to be able to throw, I have to warm up for probably an hour, because if I just throw something overhand or over shoulder like a normal guy throw, I will like feel like everything in my shoulder just exploded and blew out. All of the blood rushes to my hand and causes severe pain until the blood flows back because of the gravity shift. I never could throw, so I don't miss anything. The hardest that I can throw, to throw like a rock off the driveway or something, I have to side throw it like
a T-Rex?
A girl, so that I'm not using...
I've never seen a girl throw like this.
I don't know how you guys throw, but it's weird. Like, basically, like me trying as a left hand like a girl.
Okay.
But with my right hand, it's a side throw. I cannot throw anymore, or I will actually cause severe damage and pain in my shoulder. It is terrible.
I'm hungry.
I am so old.
For the land of the free and the home.
What is it? Land of the free? They like all said it differently. Play ball.
I want that.
Tickets may be cheap, but $10.25 a beer.
Good thing I don't drink beer.
I was just gonna say, good thing she don't drink. But they do have top shelf liquor.
Hot dogs are supposed to be eaten plain.
Ew. So I can taste the nacho cheese. That does taste like nacho cheese. But the Bud Light tastes like fruit and smells fruity. Never had that before. What's wrong?
I got a hot dog. I got a hot dog.
Well, quit sticking long things down your throat. See, now I'm excited because there wasn't supposed to be anything tonight. And fireworks. Have we seen fireworks here or just at Cleveland? Because they were amazing at Cleveland.
Yeah, just Cleveland.
We've been here before though, late night though, and saw something.
Maybe we did on 4th of July. I don't remember.
Well, I'm excited now. Free fireworks. For only seats, it costs $35.
Lucky little kid. I love Lucille.
Down by 2 in the 9th. One hits just below the scoreboard and gets to somebody on 3rd and 2nd. Next guy comes up, hits a home run. Got 3 runs in the last inning to win it. It said it's recording you.
I was recording you.
Do it.
Do it what?
Do it.
Do it.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. All right, everybody. Huh?
Do this.
No.
This.
All right, everybody, welcome back. So today, as for our miscellaneous stuff, real quick, I got more of the siding on. This right here is all completely done now. It's caulked and ready to go. And we started transitioning over on this side, which everything that you can see in black is all caulked up and ready to go. We've just got 2 more batten strips, and then we can just trek on down and knock that entire wall out. So won't happen in this video. We'll save that for another one, finishing it when we actually bust out our paint sprayer and we actually get that completely done. But first miscellaneous thing that we have to do today is we got to fix the driveway. So I ruined the driveway when we took an excavator and we took our 3-inch PVC line or conduit line and we ran it across the driveway like at an angle, because I didn't think I was going to have enough PVC pipe or wire to go around the RV that way. So as you can see right here, we made a stop right there, cut straight through, and now as you can see, the ground has settled. There's no stone here, so every time we freaking drive into the garage, we get this nasty mud right here. So went ahead and picked up a truckload of 57 stone. So we're gonna take that out and fill all those low spots in. That way we don't have to deal with standing water or actual mud. So we'll unload this. Good thing we got a 3/4 ton because it can hold 3,000 pounds of stone in the bed, absolutely no problem. And the truck is actually riding kind of level, which with our new wheels and everything looks freaking awesome. Now, just real quick on the driveway, we wouldn't have had these settling spots if I hadn't excavated it, because what we did for our driveway, which if anyone's new to the channel and you've missed those older videos where I've said it, it was not on film, so don't worry about not being able to see it. This is before YouTube. We actually excavated down about a foot or so to get rid of all the topsoil. We got down to really hard super packed clay, and then we laid out a geotech fabric from the front all the way to the back, and that basically acts as like a catcher's mitt. So if you did develop any like sinkhole spots, that catcher's mitt sits in that sinkhole spot and it won't allow the sinkhole to go really low because it's holding up all of that stone, again, like a catcher's mitt. So we laid out that geotech fabric. We put down number 2 stone. Then we put down number 304, which 304 is basically like a fine powder all the way up to 57 stone and everything in between. So once it rains, it all locks in that powder in the stone, and basically this driveway turns to like concrete. And then you finish it off with 57, so you don't have any of these like hard spots where the powdery stuff has basically hardened, kind of like this right here. that's all really compact and hard right there, and dirt will get trapped in there, or the powder will get trapped in there, and that will actually hold water too, because water doesn't go down through 304 that well. So once we get 2 more truckloads in here, when we finish off the driveway, we'll put down a nice layer of like 3 or 4 inches of 57. That way you won't see those flat spots, because the water can drain down there and just sit there until it eventually evaporates, or it eventually does soak down into the ground. And that will give you a super hard compacted driveway that should last literally forever. All right, so second miscellaneous thing that we have to do is, we are lucky that our garage didn't burn down. We have got to get those fire extinguishers installed, and that was because my generator that I had sitting in here, the garage obviously tilts down here, and the generator was tilted down with the carburetor facing the garage door, and for whatever reason it started to leak out of the carburetor. I guess it's just overly full maybe of gasoline, and it was sitting downhill, and gasoline just poured out everywhere, all over in that area. So mistakes can happen. Luckily there was no spark, luckily there was nothing. So I want to get some of those fire extinguishers placed in here, go ahead and put one inside of here, which actually is containing all of our oils and gasoline. So if something happens inside of there, that thing will explode and put out all of that. And then we need to hang another one up on this wall, or for right now, I'll set it just on top. That will give double protection. And then we got rid of the generator and anything with gasoline over in that area, so nothing should really burn over there. But we got to get those installed. Next thing is, since we've got the front of the house done, I've got some vents that we need to drill out now. There's not really any good place to put it. So up on that wall right there, probably above that window, or actually probably like right, maybe 2 spots over up there, we're gonna have to have an exhaust vent for the half bath, because again, there's no other place to put that vent really. We don't want to go up through the roof, and that will keep it under the insulation that vent pipe will be insulated on the inside of the attic. But obviously out here, it's got a flapper valve to keep bugs and stuff out, and hopefully to keep some cold out. But we got to drill a hole up in there and get the bathroom out. Then eventually somewhere over in here, we have to do the laundry rooms, a dryer vent. That's got to come out too. And then the last one, we've got the master bedroom that we have to drill a hole out, but that will happen later down the road, because we have to finish all of the siding on this side of the house, because the master bath dryer or ceiling fan, that has to be evacuated out, probably up there on the zip somewhere. But we'll make it punch out where we've got the flat panels, and not punching out where we've got the cedar shakes, because that will be really hard to seal and keep water and bugs and stuff out. And then next, I'm sure you guys are going to see it on the channel. No, we have not been spending money like another famous YouTube couple that was on YouTube, that were building their own house by themselves, and then they just started buying a whole bunch of expensive stuff, and they never got around to finishing their house. That you will see on the channel, but that was gifted to us from my mom and my stepdad. They were upgrading to something else, so they gave Erin that John Deere, which she does great on, that she can mow, and it's also super lightweight, that we still can't really bring the tractor out, because we just end up making huge potholes, because that thing weighs over 2,000 pounds. So that little guy is doing our mowing for the time being, and again, it's super easy and nimble to get through all these trees, and Erin can use. But that was a free one, so thank you, Mom and Jim, for giving us that for free. It'll obviously work quite well for us to mow for the time being, and it does a really good job. All right, last thing on the agenda is we've got to get electricity out onto the porch, because not only do I think that's code, we've got to just have electricity out here. It's nice to be able to plug in a radio or something out here, and we don't have to worry about leaving the front door open and using an extension cord or something. So we're probably going to put an outlet down right here, which means we got to drill through the ICF. And then I think what I'm going to do is just tap into this last outlet right here, backtrack the wire over to there, and then we'll punch out. But an interesting fact about my electrical wires here, I do see the difference now when people are talking about running outlets, whether in parallel or whether in series. I think a lot of people like to do parallel, and I'm seeing why that may be now, but there's some pros and cons to each one of them. So this outlet right here is outlet like number 11 on a circuit, which is going from the office to the fireplace and then over to here, and that's 11 total. Well, the air compressor does not like to plug into this outlet or that outlet because the run is so long. It's over 100 feet. And on the air compressor, it says do not use an extension cord. So the fact that we're using like over 100 feet of 12-2 wire on a 20 amp circuit, the air compressor is basically kind of acting like it is on an extension cord because you're extending the wire so much, even though again, it is 12-2 wire. And then of course, if you attach our number 10 gauge extension cord, that makes it work even worse. When it's really cold out, it has a hard time firing it up. And the reason why running my outlets in series may be hindering that is because on the side of an outlet, I run my outlets power in on the bottom. They transfer up through the gold plates on the side, and then the power leaves the top and goes to the next outlet. So that's running it in a series where you're just basically daisy chaining wire over to wire. So I don't know how thick those gold pieces are on the sides of the outlet, and if it's smaller than a 12-2, it's basically like you're dropping the voltage or amperage each time you go through an outlet, as opposed to if we wired them in parallel and each of the positives and neutrals went into a outlet housing. We pigtailed that outlet coming into the box and that outlet's coming into this same box, and we pigtailed them together with a wire tie and then pigtailed off into the outlet. Only 2 wires would then be touching the outlet for the neutral and the load. And then you would have a solid 12-2 going all the way down. But the negative to that I see is that if the outlet ever goes out, you don't know that that outlet has ever gone out because all of the other outlets are still going to be working because it's just the pigtail going in that's basically died, or the outlet that's died. All the other ones will continue to work. That doesn't feel comfortable to me because if an outlet, for example, let's say in the office over here dies, which I have to put that outlet in there per code, I will never probably use that outlet. Well, if that outlet somehow breaks, it's going to kill all of the other outlets all the way in here in the living room. And that will tell me one of my outlets is bad. If you wire them in parallel and that outlet goes out, those ones are still going to be working, and I can see that as possibly being a danger, because what if that outlet broke internally or the pigtail slipped out and now the pigtail can go over and maybe touch a ground or touch the neutral. So I wouldn't know that that outlet could potentially be a fire hazard, even though technically we do have arc fault breakers down in the basement. But you get what I'm saying. You don't know if an outlet ever goes bad if you wire it in parallel, as opposed to me, how I wired it in series, that one outlet dies, everything down the line will die, and then I just have to go down each one and test them till I find the one that is working, and then the one right after that is the one that actually died. But it's that voltage drop issue that I'm seeing, having so long of wires, having huge items like a compressor that you're actually trying to fire up and run like a mini engine, to where I see that that could be potentially a problem, to where I'm getting that voltage drop, and I don't think you would maybe have that as a problem in a parallel if all of your wires are connected together and you're not relying on the outlet making the wire flow or the power flow up through it. So let's get task 1 done. Let's unload 3,000 pounds of stone, and let's get this driveway a little bit safer and not trekking in so much mud every time a tire picks something up going through a puddle. All right, job number 1 done for the weekend. 1 yard, definitely doesn't go as far as you'd think, only in this little area right here. I definitely need to have my buddy Adam come over now that basically construction is done, and we need to lay a good 3 to 4 inches from the front literally all the way to the back, especially like right up and through here, and where the ground has naturally kind of like caved in almost, or the ground is higher, so anytime it rains, everything washes off of the yard and dumps it into the driveway, which is why you can see we have so much greenage and foliage going on. So we need to get that stone up above, higher than each side of the grass. So he's got to bring in at least 3 truckloads and level all this out with 57. Then hopefully one day, again, if you guys are new again, this right in here is all going to be concrete. So we're gonna stop probably right at this tree right here, come across, and then all the way when the RV moves all the way back to that corner, all the way up to the garage, this will all be a concrete pad. So that way the water can rush off really, really fast away from the house. We don't have to worry about all of the water right here along the French drain, because the French drain does go around the entire house and garage, and it's down there about 7 feet in a 6-inch pipe. So anything that rains pretty much off of the house, probably a good 2 or 3 feet out here, all goes straight down there, and that's just way too much water that we're bringing into the house that we don't have to. So once we butt up a concrete pad up against this concrete pad here, the only water that can get down through there is the small little gap, and everything else can run off and out to the yard. All right, let's get to the electrical real quick, knock that out, and finish up another task for today. This is why we got casements, because they're massive. All this air can go through, and then if there's a strong wind, these will close and only get pushed in harder to these seals, which makes the house that much more airtight, as opposed to double casement where they can like bend away from the bottom part to the top part, and that creates an air leak. All right, so I know it's been a while since you guys see me do electrical, but these are our ICF boxes, made in Canada by Inexo. I think we got it from like warehouse.com, but it's INEXO, however you say it. This is just a single gang box, obviously. So the beauty of these things with ICF houses, not only can you put some screws into strapping on either side, but they have these internal winglets and lock into place. You basically don't need to screw this down. All 4 of these sharp daggers will basically plunge into the foam of the ICF, and that will actually hold the box in pretty secure. So I've got to cut out the LP real quick, actually cut off these winglets so we can just cut this out to the size of the outside box, and that way we can press it down in there and we don't have to cut out more than we actually have to. All right, so I just sent my wire through, caulked the crap out of this, and this outside cover with a rubber gasket will obviously go on here. And what's nice about this is it's nice and flush to the house. It's not gonna stick out like a ginormous box. Yes, it is gray, but I went ahead and picked up some Rust-Oleum primer or metal, wood, plastic paint, 2 times coverage, so this won't rust. Hopefully this black kind of matches the house black. Doesn't have to be perfect, so obviously this thing's not hidden, but we'll get this mounted up and see how it fits, and then we'll go ahead and paint the crap out of it. And then once it's up against the house, I'll even put another layer of caulking around it, and then we'll clean up all of this with a nice fresh coat of paint. And again, I think that's gonna look real freaking good. Now, as for this, obviously we're outside, so we need to be using a ground fault outlet, but nothing else will be protected on this ground fault, even though it's on the same circuit in there. So the bottom here, or top, whichever way you put it, these ones, the power and neutral and everything will go in on these ones. But then if this was a ground fault protecting other outlets down the line, you would then bring wires down on here. So on a ground fault outlet, you do not want to pigtail everything together. You need to have power coming into here, probably directly from the control panel or the outlet panel. And then you run down to here, running off your neutral and your power, and send down there. So when this trips, it kills everything on down. That's basically how, again, I ran every single outlet in my house. Power came in on the bottom, went up to the top, and then fed over to another bottom, went up to a top, and then kept feeding over like that. But for ground faults, you have to go top, then bottom, or again, bottom, feed up top, and then kick over, or else all of your other outlets aren't going to be protected on that line. All right, so that outlet is back to normal. And if we reset this one, the light actually is on. It's just very hard to see, but both of our side lights are on, so we're wired correctly. And if we test it, good, we pop it, reset it, we are done. All right, that makes project number 2 kind of done. I'm gonna caulk that one more time around the outside, let it harden up, and then again, we'll paint all that and spray paint the box, and then that one will be done. And then we need to get to working on where our outlet or vent is gonna come out somewhere up in there. What I think I'm gonna do is just go through the bird block on the other side up in the attic, drill a pilot hole out. That way we get that vent, obviously not on a batten strip, but somewhere in the middle, probably above that window. Or if we use the window as guidance, just make sure we get a good hole. And then we got to do a 4-inch hole through the bird block, which will be going through the bird block and the LP. And then I think we'll be outside. I don't think we'll interact the OSB that we put up there. So hang tight, let me measure some stuff and we'll drill that. And then we'll test the bathroom fan and see if it works. Here is our exhaust vent. These ones actually come black, unlike the outlet, so we don't have to paint it. A lot more shiny, so I could hit it with that can of spray paint and dull it up more of a satin instead of a gloss if I want to. But I just punched the hole out from inside of the attic, so super easy. I went up on the ladder on the other side of this wall, punched down through the old ceiling, punched the hole where it was in between these 2 batten strips, and then that way on the inside of the attic I had a line to where I wasn't going to hit a truss and I could punch out through a bird block. And as you can see, I put a hole right up in there, right dead center. So it's up very high, so you shouldn't be able to really hear that thing running, that it's not too loud, and obviously you're not going to smell somebody as they're discharging that bathroom. But these ones are approved for just venting. These are obviously not approved for like a clothes dryer, unless you rip that metal grate out that's in there. And it's got a spring-loaded flapper valve on this side with a neoprene kind of gasket up in there. But is this going to keep the house at a blower door score of like 3 or less? Obviously this is going to be a major leak. We would have to like actually seal up the bathroom fan on the inside so we could actually get a good reading of what our blower door score truly is, because there's no way that gasket right there or up inside of the ceiling fan that's 100% sealed off or anything. So I just gotta drill a hole through there, stick this in. Hopefully that goes enough through the bird block and everything like that, and then we can put our flexible hose on that and then turn it on for the first time, and hopefully it is powerful enough to open up that spring-loaded valve right there and exhaust properly which it should, because that's like 80 CFM fan in there. So let me drill that hole real quick. We'll go up in the attic, or we'll install this, then go up in the attic. We'll caulk this, just preventative maintenance, and then we'll go ahead and paint up the nails or screws or whatever I use, and then we should be done with this part. Got her. All right, time for the wife's approval or disapproval. Can you figure out what I did to the front of the house? Minus the ladder right where...
Yeah, that's the giveaway.
I'm gonna paint it, either spray paint it with satin black, cover up the silver nail holes, and obviously you found the outlet.
Yeah.
So I'll spray paint that one, because that one will probably obviously need to look the best. It's just a satin black Rust-Oleum.
Yeah. Am I missing anything?
No. But hopefully that's high enough that if someone's sitting out here and then takes a dump, you don't now breathe in their,
Oh my God.
their dump air.
Their dump air?
Yeah. That's where it's going.
Okay.
Dryer is gonna have to go somewhere over here too.
Ugh.
Once we figure out where that's gonna go. That's probably gonna have to go, well, looking in right here, mudroom, utility, I don't know, the dryer's probably gonna have to go on that last one up in there, but actually it may not work because the bird block you can see is all the way up there. So that's the height of the old roof. I don't know how we're gonna get the dryer vented. You are allowed to do a soffit one. So it'll hang down on the soffit like this, but I'd have to drill a hole from inside of the attic out through the bird block, and then out here drill a hole up through that soffit, and then route a pipe out and under, screw it to the thing, and then screw it up into the soffit. But
That's what you'll be doing. It's just so not what you want to see on the front of a house.
we don't have much choice because I'm not going up through the roof.
But you just told me a whole thing you could do.
Well, the only
I'll go for
problem,
that.
yeah, but I don't know if you're allowed to use for a dryer if you can use the flexible corrugated hose. It has to be hard rigid,
I don't know.
which
It's
I don't know how I'm gonna get a 90-degree bend up in there.
Somebody's got to have an idea.
Soffit dryer, yes, agree with me, guys. Instead of going up through the ceiling, doing a soffit or a punch out wall, which the punch out wall is not going to work because that level right above that window, we're nowhere close on the inside of the ceiling. You'd have a pipe running through the freaking laundry room 8 feet above your head with 10-foot ceilings.
Just something that is not coming out on the front of the house. That's horrible.
Oh, we already did that one.
We cannot have another.
You're gonna have one on that side of the house for the master bathroom exiting out for the bathroom ceiling.
Did you say that side?
Yeah.
Yeah, who cares? I'm talking about the front of the house. Don't want to see it.
All right, I gotta go connect the corrugated pipe, turn it on, and we'll see how powerful it is. All right, so here's what we got up in the attic. There's the fan right there, sealed and spray foamed. We're only going a very short distance and we're going out for that bird block. So I'm gonna spray foam the crap out of that. And again, the reason why I put it where it is because now you can see the insulation up in this attic. Here's a height measuring stick where we're gonna blow in all this insulation. So we're gonna have insulation blowing up all the way over to here. So that pipe is protected by not being too cold or too hot. We'll have all of the foam or the spray cellulose blowing over top of that pipe, keeping that pipe low to the ground and keeping it insulated as much as we can. Obviously, you can still have air come in through the outside vent and go on the inside of the pipe and have cold air blow down through there. But hopefully these flapper valves, both on the fan itself and the vent out there, keep everything nice and insulated. And done. Holy crap. That's the first time I've used spray foam in a long time where it wasn't like 40, 50, 60 degrees outside. When I was doing everything up in here, it was maybe 55 degrees, and this stuff uses between like 60 and 90 or something. The fact that it is 90 degrees up in here, holy crap, does that make a difference how that stuff sprays out. And hopefully that will expand and contract a little bit more. But again, that hose is now connected, spray foamed in on that side, spray foamed on that side. Now let's go turn her on and see what we see. All right, so I don't think I showed you guys this, but I did opt for a dual switch here in this bathroom with only a single gang to keep things like kind of tidied up in here. So top switch is the light, bottom switch is the fan. I don't know how that's picking up on camera right now, but that fan is extremely quiet. Like, I mean, it probably makes it sound a lot louder than it is, but up in here, you can't hear anything. Or again, you're barely hearing it. So out here, I can hear it out here. It's not any louder than a truck going down our main road down there, probably 2 miles away. So, oh, that's a good strong fan. That's a lot of air that's blowing out, and absolutely no problem with it blowing it open from a good inch or so that blows open. So that is gonna work 100% perfect. It's not gonna bother anybody out here sitting anywhere if anyone does turn that on. And for the first time, I am glad to kind of have that on there. While that may not be a ginormous fan at 80 CFM a minute or whatever, but when I am working in the house next winter or here to come soon, hopefully, when we get the back door and the 2 windows in, that's gonna seal this house up 100%, and I think the air is probably gonna get stagnant. We're gonna have to open up windows when we work. Next winter, we'll see if it gets any humidity or temperature difference with our dehumidifier working or not. So it's good to have an outside access source that instead of just opening up a window, you can actually start pulling some of the air out of the house. Again, small fan, but at least if it's on and running, it can create a draft in a super tight insulated house and get that out here to help a little bit with air quality until we are ready for a whole house ERV, or I think we're going with an HRV system, which we'll purchase sometime. But we're running a little bit late on time here and on the night. I'm going to paint these up real quick, install those fireballs, and then I think we may wrap it up and we may be done for the night. So hang on real quick. All right, so like I said, last thing I want to get done. Again, if you guys have missed other videos, which by the way, happy 3,000. We've hit 3,000 subscribers. That's freaking awesome. But if you guys have missed other videos where I talked about these before, these LED passive fire extinguishers, if you have no idea what the heck I've been talking about, these are fire extinguishers that basically are a plastic ball with a thin plastic sheathing around it. And inside, underneath of this plastic sheathing is basically like a fireworks wick. So once this burns through, it ignites the wick. The wick goes in, explodes a charge in here somewhere. This thing explodes open, and inside of it is basically just the white powder that you would see someone putting out a fire with. And again, they're passive. I don't have to do anything with these. So we can hang these up on the walls in places. Fire gets hot enough, melts this, ignites that wick, explosion, boom. In the side of that cabinet, we can help put out gasoline and stuff like that and just snuff it out basically. So I'm gonna install one of these on the inside of the cabinet, and then we'll, for right now, just set one on top of the cabinet until we get the wall painted. But we'll have one inside and one outside, so we kind of have a redundant system. And they do come with screws and drywall anchors. But for inside of the cabinet, since it's metal, I'm gonna use a self-tapper, but you just have one of these cages here, 2 screws through the back of the cage, and then you set your ball down in there and you set it and forget it. You'll never have to think about it again. I don't know the expiration or the life expectancy of these things, but I would imagine that powder is gonna be good for a lifetime, that it explodes and it snuffs the fire out, takes away all the oxygen. But let's get some self-tappers on that real quick and finish up what we're gonna do for today and this video. All right, done and done. That guy is screwed back there. So yeah, it took up a space, but that will be nice and protected now. And then again, we'll worry about that one later, screwed up somewhere up high. And then we got a couple more to buy actually. I think I'm gonna put one by the fireplace, maybe another one in the utility room because it says it can only handle like 80 square feet, and the utility room is technically over that, or maybe it's smaller than 80 square foot. I gotta look, maybe it's 60. But that utility room down there is like 10 by 8, so that's actually bigger than 80 square foot. So maybe we'll put 2 down in the utility room. I gotta put 1 in the washing room when that wall gets done, like above the dryer. So if there's a fire in there, 1 above the fireplace. And then they do make some decorative ones that don't look like that bright red. It actually looks like, you can get it making it look like the Death Star from Star Wars, or you can make it look like a mossy rock or something. So you can set it next to a fireplace or set it in a kitchen and it's not an eyesore. But yeah, those are definitely worth it if you're not gonna put fire extinguishers in your house. And again, you set it and forget it. So I will see you guys on another video. I just wanted to update you because it's been a minute since we put a video out to you guys. So you can see where we're at in the siding. We'll get restarted on that. You can see we got some vents done, some electric work done, some paint that we still gotta do. But yeah, it's all those little things that really take up full days and just hours on end that you got to do, that you just want to get to the big stuff and leave the little stuff for a later time. But hope you guys enjoyed that. If you guys got any questions about anything, please hit us up in the comments down below. Message us on Instagram on NeckofTheWoods 2020. You can personal message us over there. A little bit easier than YouTube. And again, happy 3,000 to everybody. We're over that number. That's kind of a milestone. Next will be 5 and then 10 and maybe one day 100. So we'll see what happens. But until then, I will see you guys next time. Hope you enjoyed and take care.